Were you happy with it? I love the Infidels album.
I thought it came out okay, but to me, I mean, I don't get excited about it. To me, it don't excite me. What happened with it? I think, I mean, it was all right. Yeah, I thought it was it was okay album, but for me, I made just as good albums that people haven't recognized for one reason or another.
Do you stack them up and have any faves?
Yeah, I do. I have favorites, but you know, what's the use of saying what my favorites are? It's like trying to plug my own albums, you know.
Well, people might be interested in what you think is your good work.
One album of mine, which I think was overlooked, was the Charlotte Love album. And I just think it came out at the wrong time, and the reason people didn't respond to it was because they had no history of it, you know?
Recording is a whole other thing from being on stage. And you, from what I've read, try and record as spontaneously as possible.
I have, I have. I don't do that so often anymore, but I have. Yeah, I usually just take a song in the studio, because recording a song bores me. You know, it's like working in a coal mine. Well, I mean, it's not really as serious as that. I mean, you're not completely that far underground, literally, in a literal sense. But, you know, you can get you could be indoors for months and never know it, you know. I mean, what you think is real is just not anymore. I mean, you're listening to our sounds all the time, and your whole world just is working with tapes and things. And I've never liked that side of it. Plus, I never got into it on that level. When I recorded, I just went in and recorded the song I had. You know, that's the way people recorded that. But the people don't record that way, and I shouldn't record that way either, because they can't even get it down that way anymore. And to do what I used to do, or to do what anybody used to do, you have to stay in the studio a longer time to even get that right, because, you know, technology has messed everything up so much.
It's messed it up?
Yeah, it's messed it up.
Well,
technology has given you a false picture. Anybody who got anything to do falsely, like you listen to the records that are done now, they're all done in a technology sort of way, which is a conniving kind of way. You can dream up what you want to do and just go in and dream it up, you know, and do it. But you go see some of that stuff live, and you know, you're going to be very disappointed because. Well, I mean, if you want to see some of it live, you may not want to, you know. But I think it's messed it up. But it's progress, you know. It can't go back the way it used to be. For me, it's messed things up. For a lot of people, it's messed things up for. And then for a lot of other people who it's a great advantage for. In other words, you can get something right now. It doesn't have to be right, but you can get it right. You know, it can be totally wrong, but you can get it right. And it can be done just with sound and we were just recording something the other night, and we're going to put some hand claps on it. You know, and the guy sitting behind the board is saying, well, do you guys want to go out there and actually clap? I mean, I got a machine right here who can do that. What's his name? You know? And his name was Roland or something. You know? But you know, we went out and clapped instead. You know, not that that ain't a big deal. We could have had some machine do it, but that's just a small example of what everything is just machine orientated. You know. So if you have a band, if you have a live band, and you go in the studio and you cut a song live, to me that's exciting. I mean, it doesn't even have to be great, but it's exciting, you know. Well, I've been in the studio and I've seen bands, and I've done it myself, do things live, and it don't come down on tape that way. No, not a bit. Most of it's all lost. In the old days, you couldn't lose it. There was no way you could lose it. People was wondering, well, how did they make those records sound that way? Let's try to make them sound that way. How did they get those Motown records to sound that way? How did they get all them Atlantic records sounding that way? How did they get field recordings even sounding that way? Well, it's very simple. They couldn't sound any other way but that way. You know, they couldn't sound it. That's the way they sounded. Now you do that if you took. Nobody could make records like that no more. Nobody can. If you take the Drifters into the studio and have them cut, on Broadway. I mean, it would devastate you. I mean, it used to devastate you. Now you couldn't hear it. It wouldn't even come out.
Yeah, because people are so used to hearing these high-tech recordings.
Yeah, everything is, you can't play the kick drum with the bass on that, and we got to set things. It's going to take an hour to set this up. Oh, okay, we'll set that up then, and we got to get sound on a rhythm guitar. That'll take, come back tomorrow.
Well, it's a boom.
And everybody just sits around and gets clocks what they're getting. It's a business.
But there is something that's why you go back to the stage then.
Yeah, for me, I mean, I'm just thankful I can play on the stage and people will come to see me. Because I couldn't make it otherwise. I mean, if I went out to play and nobody showed up, that would be the end of me. I wouldn't be making records, I'll tell you that. I know that. I only make records because people see me live. So as long as they're coming out to see me live, I'll just make more records,
Videos, you made one. You made two for this album. One of which is kind of, a big video hit. But you said before you had a big video.
Videos aren't hard to make. They're easy to make, and they can be very inexpensive. I mean, anybody can make a video. Anybody. All you need is a camera. Whatever you want, what kind of camera you want. 16 millimeter or a video camera. Anybody can do it. And anybody can make a good one. And people will like it. You show people something that's done in a technological kind of way, and they're not going to know what to think about it, so they're going to like it. You can, dress it up in so many different kinds of ways. So many different kinds of ways, and people don't know what to think. Nobody's going to sit there and say, well, this is bullshit. Nobody's going to sit there and look at something on video on television and say, this is fucking awful. Or this don't make any sense at all. Nobody's going to say that, and say, stop making these shitty things. It's been a long time since I even seen one, but last time I saw one, I was appalled. But that's all right. I mean, that's all right. It usually, that's just the way things are. And I don't mean to say that most of these people making videos are phonies or fakes or anything like that, because there's a great club scene, and all over the world is a great club scene. And I've found a lot of great bands playing, just Holiday Inns.
You go out and see bands a lot?
Well, if they happen to come across, if I'm there in the same place, I'll go out. Yeah, I'll go see. And if there's somebody I want to see, I'll go see them. But, and videos, they sort of help the record business and whatever, but,
But what about the human beings? I mean, if there's one thing about your music, it's that it's the music of a human being. It's you.
Yeah, it is. Well, I mean, we're coming from a different era, though, I mean, I don't know what people are cared for now. I don't know what they are, For me, if I go out and see somebody, I mean, I'd go see a big band. It's rare to find them, but they sort of come back once in a while. You go see big bands. I like that.
What I'm saying is, you talk almost, you say, like, I don't know how to put it, that, the world has gone here and, like, you're old-fashioned. Right?
Well, I feel I am old-fashioned, but I don't feel like I'm old-fashioned in the way that I'm not modern fashion. I feel that, on a certain level, there is no old fashion and there's no new fashion. There really nothing has changed. And I don't feel like I'm old fashioned in the kind of way where I feel like I'm a passé person, that's sitting somewhere, out in Montana and just watching it snow. But even if I was, I'm sure that would be okay.
Yeah, but Bob, you can't go to a concert like Wendell.
Well, okay, but we're still old-fashioned. Look, life is life. You don't get that many years to live, right? So if you want to keep up with things, how long can you keep up with things to see what's new? And even when you're keeping up with things, what are you keeping up with? You're trying to keep up with what? Who buys most of the records? 12-year-old kids? Who buys Michael Jackson records? 12-year-olds, 14, 15, 16, maybe 18, 20-year-olds. I don't know who buys 50 million records of somebody. I don't know. I don't know. Or you can't compete with a market that's geared for 12-year-olds. Or 14 or 15-year-olds. You got rock and roll critics who are 40 years old writing about records that are geared for people that are 10 years old. And making an intellectual fucking philosophy out of it.
And you don't listen to that stuff?
No, I don't listen to that stuff, and I don't listen to those critics. And I've come up with a lot of people who should know a whole lot better, that at one time did it, and who made a career out of writing about rock and roll. Writing about rock and roll, how indecent can you be? I'm not saying that it's all bad. People have to express themselves. And some people, rock and roll gives them a thrill, or did give them a thrill. Well, most of the people that I can think of as rock and roll or authoritarian people are people who documented down what I remember growing up with as it started, right? So everybody knows where the roots of rock and roll are. Everybody knows who does what. But to make such an intellectual game out of it and is beside the point. It's not going to really add anything to the history of popular music. It's just going to feed a lot of cynical people and self-righteous people who think they've got a claim on the rock and roll gold mine or whatever it is. And I find that very distasteful. I don't feel, nobody has to tell. What was great about when in the 60s, you want to read about rock and roll? Or rhythm and blues? Or folk music? What was there? Cashbox? Bill Bar? Stay Out. I don't know what else. Now you got rock and roll and People magazine everybody's millions, but it's a career. People have made a career out of it. It's a business. And to me, it's not a business, and to the people who have survived along with me, it's not a business. It just isn't. It's never been a business and never will be a business.
It is.
It just is a way of surviving, This is what you do, It's like it's just like somebody who's been trained to be a carpenter. That's what they do. It's what they do best, That's how they make a living, I guess.
Were you ever going to be anything else, by the way?
I know.
Were you ever going to be like an insurance salesman, or?
I was never going to be anything else.
Really?
Never. I was playing when I was 12 years old. That's all I wanted to do was play my guitar.
Was it a thing?
No, I was going to the parties where all these biggest guys were, and they were all, it was a way, of getting attention and whatever. It starts out that way. But I didn't know where it was going to be. Now that it's led me here, I still don't know where it is.
It was the wrong word. I was going to say political overtones. When I think of political, I think of Reagan versus
I don't
Monroe.
think much of political things. But politics to me is like gathering money to build a park, or getting the subway systems to work right. I'm not. For politics to me, political people at the best, are servants of what the people want. I mean, I think that's the way it's been conceived. America is what? America is Greek. Really? In intention, it's Greek. I mean, Thomas Jefferson was more Greek, wasn't he? Philosophically, it was Greek. It was a Greek system of government. Democracy is a Greek system of government. It's Greeks conquered the Persians, I think.
So, are you cynical about government?
Oh, no, I don't care about government. You've got to work with whatever government you're in.
So in that sense, you're pragmatic. You got to deal with what you've got. I'm not trying to
I think so. Yeah. Well, you must deal with whatever situation you're in.
One of my favorite lines, I won't ask you what it means, one of my favorite lines in the new album is, I'm trying to remember it right, steal a little and they'll put you in jail, steal a lot and they'll make you the king. When they make you a king.
Yeah.
It's about the injustice of the legal system in a sense.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Well, I don't want to get very, I can just give this all, to a lot of pettiness and individualistic pettiness, which personally I happen to have had experiences with. But I don't want to burden anybody with my unfortunate experiences in the legal aspect of things, legal aspect of modern society.
but you do love this country. I guess that's sort of like it.
I love, how can you say, this is the only country I know, really. Love, I mean, love. And people can say, well, don't you love that shirt? Oh, I just love that hairstyle. I love that record. I love that TV show. I love that piece of furniture. I love that woman. Gee, I love your eyes. Love. I mean, people just throw that word around so easily now, don't they? Everybody loves everything.